Before Pythagoras spoke about the immortality of the soul, before Heraclitus declared that everything flows, before Parmenides argued that reality itself never changes, there was a strange figure from a tiny Greek island who stood directly between myth and philosophy, a man who still spoke in the language of gods, but was already trying to explain the structure of existence itself. His name was Pherecydes of Syros, and almost nobody talks about him anymore. Yet ancient writers believed he may have been one of the first Greeks to teach the immortality of the soul, reincarnation, cosmic order, and a universe governed not merely by divine chaos, but by intelligible principles. Aristotle himself said Pherecydes was a thinker who did not speak entirely in mythical language. That sentence is more important than it sounds, because it marks one of the greatest transformations in human history, the moment mythology slowly began turning into philosophy. This is the story of Pherecydes of Syros. Pherecydes lived around the 6th century BCE on the island of Syros on the Aegean Sea. Very little about his life is certain. In fact, almost everything about him comes in fragments, rumors, and later testimonies written centuries after his death. That already tells you something. Pherecydes stands at the edge of recorded philosophy, in a twilight zone where history and legend blur together. Some ancient sources claimed he traveled widely and learned secret teachings from Phoenicians. Others said he taught Pythagoras himself. Was that true? Probably not literally. But the fact that later generations connected him to Pythagoras reveals something else. They saw Pherecydes as a spiritual ancestor of mystical philosophy. Not merely a storyteller, not merely a priest, but something new, a proto philosopher, a bridge figure, a thinker standing between the sacred myths of theogony and the rational investigations of the pre Socratics. And unlike earlier Greek thinkers, Pherecydes reportedly wrote in prose rather than poetry. That sounds small today, but in ancient Greece, that was revolutionary. Poetry belonged to myth, memory, and divine inspiration. Prose suggested explanation, analysis, with reasoning. It was the beginning of philosophy speaking in its own voice.